and said, Aaron, the vast majority of the people, vast majority of them, are disagreeing with you. And you gave me statistics to back that up. If I just ignored that and didn't sway my opinion, I'd be worthless. Worthless as a game designer. So when you're hearing all this, does not any of it settle or strike a beat with you that you're wrong? You might be wrong? Do you even have that? Do you even have that? I'm asking you a question. Do you have an inkling in your head that you...
No, I don't. I actually don't think I'm wrong. No.
Okay, then you're exactly the person that I thought you were. So let's move on.
Okay, I have a question.
Let me say one last thing, then I'm leaving. Okay.
Well, don't take the last word and just ditch. That's such a like we've already seen one person do that.
It doesn't matter. Like I'm not here to do something. I'm not gonna ditch. I just want to finish off my thing. You just said that I as a person am worthless, and you called me useless, a useless person.
In the way of game design, guy, come on, thicker skin. I'm talking about game design. Now you offended? You don't even know me. How am I offending you, dude? You couldn't offend me if you tried. How are you?
I didn't say you just interrupted me like 5 times while you get mad over me interrupting you. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, because everyone's here to talk to me, not you. You're not the one here that people want to hear from. I am. People aren't sitting in here to hear your voice. They're in here to hear mine. You don't go to a guest speaker and they get mad at the guest speaker for fucking talking this.
Yeah, the guest speaker would never accept think that other people shouldn't interrupt him, but then interrupt the people himself. That's a shitty guest speech. Like, holy shit.
Maybe so, but this is what you're dealt with, right?
Yeah, so I guess that's what I have to deal with. Okay,
right? Exactly.
It's fine. I'm out of here, sure.
Good.
Can I move on?
Oh, son of a bitch! I want to ask him a question.
Can I go on?
We've had some people today. Let me tell you. All right, go ahead.
Before we get stuck with tutorial life, like you said, when I wanted to give free money to a community, they refused it. Like that was the topic. Like I wanted to say one thing to you. Like ever since Handmade, we were in a rough patch. Like we were getting we had to try harder in order to get gold. Like we never could finish a game with 6 items, like full items. Like even when I was playing 1-hour game, I barely could finish items. Like I had 5 items and still I couldn't finish my last item. But when the recent changes, now I see holy shit, I'm amazement now, and I can get it full items. In my mind, it goes, the game became easier, right? I couldn't get it before. For 9 years, I played over 50,000 games, and there were barely 50 or 20 games that I could finish items properly, and the rest I could. Now I feel like every game that I can finish it, I feel like the game made it easier. That was when we talked, I said did you close it to casual mode? That was the statement, dude.
Okay, so what's the problem?
It's not a problem.
It's because to me, games since I would say when World of Warcraft started to turn casual, right? That's when we started to see a change in gaming. And a lot of this has to do with the age of gamers nowadays. So the average age of gamers today is in the 30s, actually. That's the average age of video gamers. Because we all started back in the day, we're getting older, we're still playing video games. And as we get older, we have less and less time to commit to video games. We have less and less time we can sit down. We can't like we were kids where we could play 15 hours a day of a game and grind it out, right? We have jobs, we have families. So as that goes on, we're seeing the gaming industry shift to more of a casual audience. So if you look at Dota, for example, they just released their updated easy mode version that they just put out, whatever. They're going over to casual. We have Fortnite, which is the casual version of VR games. We have our game, the vast majority of our players are playing casual mode. What you need to understand is that in order for this new environment that we're getting into, the games need to be quicker, not easier. I'm not trying to make Han easier. I'm not trying to make it casual. I'm trying to make it faster. I'm trying to make it more enjoyable for all the people who play the game so that the game doesn't die So I'm trying to move with the trend that all other games are moving into. That's all. Now you said that you would play games where you wouldn't get to finish items, and that felt great. But guess what? The vast majority of players are not as good as you, Wizard, and it sucks for them. And then they quit the game and they go to something easier. So
I'm not saying it's great. Sorry, like I'm interrupting you, but like I feel like I'm quoting one of your words that you said, like when someone get used to one thing, it's really hard to change from that.
It is. It is, but I know that I know what you're saying, and the thing is I haven't looked on this thing, and I tend to rant. You won't know it, and I want to hear from other people. And we've been on this for a very long time. Just know that the goal of the game right now is to allow it to be more fast-paced for people to achieve more of their goals while playing. The goal of Han right now, the direction of the design team, is to allow for the support role to be more rewarding, to allow the support role to be more enjoyable to be played. And the goal of Han right now is to separate the Death Ball meta out of the normal meta, because that is considered by the vast majority of players not fun to play. And we're trying to make distinct laning phases in doing so. That's the goal. Now, also, we want to update the map at the end of the year with the golems and all that stuff too, but that's our overall design direction. Is it the right direction? Who knows? Time will tell. But we're basing this off of our statistics. We're basing this off of what we're seeing in the marketplace, and we're trying to keep players active in our game. And I'm so sorry, Wizard. You know I love you. But you are in the vast, vast minority of people who play our game that want the game to be that hard. Most people don't want that anymore. Most people who play our game don't even want that anymore.
That's true.
Right? Well, the thing is when you nerf Root Cleaver, you nerf all melee heroes. When I nerf or I could just nerf Mage Bane if Mage Bane is the only one. So the idea is then you look at Root Cleaver. All the heroes that are picking up Root Cleaver are their win rates being insane. And then if that's true, then I would say nerf Root Cleaver. But if it's only Mage Bane, then no, I'm not going to nerf all the fucking melee heroes. I'm gonna nerf Mage Bane.
Agility per level is a lot. Sorry, you.
Wizard, we've heard a lot from you. Let's hear from, because I've only got about 30 minutes before I got to get out of here. So let's hear from other people that haven't had a chance to speak much.
I mean, I've spoken a lot, so I'm gonna shut up and let's go.
Microphone. So are we? Is this the frustrating part where we expose what we think?
I really would love. I want to hear I want to hear what people are being frustrated with, but I want to hear it in a bouting from the hit. You know what I mean, Peeves?
Yeah.
Like the
I'm
last
still
two
waiting
guys-
for that promised Master of Arms nerf. Just saying.
I'm fine if Master of Arms is doing too much. I'm fine nerfing Master of Arms. If he's overtuned, he's overtuned. But is he completely killing the game of Han? No. All right, go ahead, Peeves.
So someone that I've been betting against recently, someone that you brought up, is Taro. And specifically Taro because of her. She's a really hard carry. She's supposed to be good late game, but her early game just feels way too strong. With her ability to shackle two people together and deal up to 400 damage each to them. And
Whoa. 400 damage? Where do you get that number?
The if you use Q, the bouncing ball on someone.
So two abilities together, okay.
Yeah.
Prioritizes them.
It prioritizes heroes and it deals 100 damage per bounce, does 8 bounces. So that combined with the fact that the thing that makes them prioritize is a bind that not only stuns them if they go too far apart, but also if you bind someone to a creep and you kill the creep, that's an instant nuke and stun.
No, I can agree with you completely.
We nerfed exactly.
Yeah, we did just nerf the ability. We're also making it to where where you can't target somebody, target like a creep or somebody who's not magic immune, who's bound by fate, and then it will no longer target somebody who is magic immune.
So her E can't bind to creeps anymore?
No, they can bind to creeps, but they can't bind. So like what right now in the game, if I'm magic immune, right?
Right.
I can hit Bound by Fate onto a creep, and if the only thing next to it is a magic immune target, it will still bind me to that magic immune target. Well, we're changing that to obviously that.
I see. It's just that, like, personally, I like if a Taro gets farmed and starts killing everyone, that's kind of understandable because like she's one of the hardest carries in the game. It's a crit, does a lot of damage. She has an ability that makes things bounce. Blah blah blah. It's just the early game that.
So Taro's early game, I can look at that for sure. We'll look at the win rate of Taro. We'll because I've been hearing that more.
She's crap in higher brackets as well.
TVO at 60%. I'm happy.
So I'm glad Swimez is here because Swimez has been doing balance, so he'll probably be a little more accurate than I am on stats.
Jared is hard because like you say you want her to be better late game, I guess, because she's a carry, right? But we nerfed her all crit numbers because people complained they were too high, and she was just trash. And then we also nerfed her early game a little bit, but you're saying it's not enough. She's gonna suck if we nerf her anymore. We can't buff her damage because people complain about that for the late game. And yeah, well, what are we can't buff early game either because people complain
Maybe you
about that
replace either her Q or her E with like a defensive cooldown or something that doesn't.
Yeah, we would have to rework the hero at that point.
Oppressive,
maybe, but in terms of balance, yeah, I don't think we can do much.
Or like,
rework, maybe.
So
maybe remove the stun on kill, like the thing where the bind activates on the other thing dying. Because that's another.
That's just a nerf. You would need to. What would you buff to make up for the nerf?
Yeah, that is because it seems like she has her W and her R, which are late game powerhouses, and then Q and E, which are early game powerhouses, and seems pretty hard.
So
to
you
do
would
a
buff
balance.
her. It's a hard one to deal. It looks like her. Okay, her early game. I mean, her GPM isn't even that insane.
Yeah, this isn't so much like I hate to facing Taro. She wins all the time. It's just it's a feel thing.
Definitely, I can understand that. We'll look at Bound. I do think Bound by Fate is causing an exorbitant amount of frustration. Generally, we have a situation like Sonata brings up where if we nerf her anymore, we could potentially kill her off. And if we buff her damage, which is the only thing that we can do to compensate for nerfing an ability's utility, then we have players complaining some perception shifts. Now, if that's the case, that's when we go to say, well, Bound by Fate is not needed. But right now, I think Terra is pretty low. We'll look at it. I got that on the list. All right, what else we got? So I'm looking at the win rates here that William posted. These are all the heroes that are picking up Cleaver, correct? And these are their win rates for what bracket?
So you're saying those are just be adjusted stats for those heroes when they get Rune Cleaver in all brackets?
This is the win rate. I believe you're showing me the item win rate. Yeah, William. So this is the win rate they have when they have this acquired this item. This is not their overall win rate.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the win rate with Ruby. So that's pretty. Those are pretty high numbers, but could be also a little misleading because you can also look at late game items like geometers and you're going to see the same numbers, right? But we wouldn't say geometers is over. But I do agree that because Rune Cleaver is such an early game item, to see these kind of win rates with it might be a telltale sign to nerf Rune Cleaver.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
I was just wondering why Sand Scepter, the cost of the recipe went down from, I believe, by 200 gold. I know it provides a lot of utility in the game. It has the immobilize, and now has the buff where the allies for 60 movement speed for 2 seconds, and the debuffs on removes the debuffs on allies, and it has immobilize. So I was just curious on that.
So what I said earlier on is one of our major goals right now is that trying to get out of the suicide meta, which means that most games are going to have at least one support, but ideally have two, right? 2 supports. And if we're saying that 2 supports, we would like for there to be 2 supports in every game, that means that we kind of make that role fun, because there's more of that than anything else. You don't generally want to have 2 carries in a game. You don't want to have 2 gankers. So having 2 supports in a game means that we're going to have to look at the fun levels of that hero. Right now, by far, by leaps and bounds, players do not enjoy the support role. So our goal is to make the support role more rewarding if you're playing well, and more enjoyable overall. So what we're doing is we first started with the wards, giving you more gold for counter warding, and then every patch that comes out, we're chunking 200 gold off of support-related items. So Sand Scepter won't be the only one to get 200 gold chunked off of it. All the support items, tablet, Storm Spirit, you name it, they're all going to see a price reduction. Because we also saw statistically that our support heroes were getting very, 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 very few items in the game. So as a part of the fun of Han, it's customizing your hero, right? That's half the fun of MOBAs, is being able to customize your hero to how you want. But if you're never going to get the gold to do that, then that's probably one of the main reasons why support roles are so unenjoyable.
Oh, no, I understand that completely, and I get that, and that definitely makes sense. I just want to know your thoughts on Sand Scepter's state right now. Do you think it's overpowered?
Yeah, no, absolutely is. What I'm hoping, though, is we get these other items, we get their recipes chunked off. Now, I would have just chunked them all off myself. I would have chunked every support item off 200. And that would have been the best way of doing it. But perception-wise, the community would have flipped out. So we're doing it little tweaks and drones. Now, once we get all the supports hacked off, and then we do what we want to do to carries to make sure that carries come online just slightly bit quicker, I think that Sand Scepter might equal out. If it doesn't equal out, then yeah, it's on the list of items to maybe go back, or we meet halfway in the middle, maybe go up 100.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, what else we got, guys? I mean, one guy comes in here and he's telling me I'm killing the game. There's got to be something going on that's causing a massive amounts of frustration. What do you guys got? Tell me what's killing the game. If that guy's right and the game is dying, here, help me out. What do we do? What do we need to change? What do you need to have?
325 is just too high, Waza. You know.
325 attack speed is killing Han.